Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host Jump. Today we wrap up our romance week with another romance. That's pretty, wow, it's pretty bleak, isn't it?
It is very bleak. I don't know why you chose this one.
I know, I
Like,
don't know.
this is my first time hearing about this movie, and this is my first time watching this movie. And I was like, Enzo, you good?
No, because I've heard people be like, it's one of the best romance movies of all time, and then
No, it's not!
and then I watched it, and it was too late because I was like, alright, we should do this, since people are like, it's the best. So, watching it, as I was watching it, I was like, what's your definition of the best? I don't understand.
Have you felt love before? Person who recommended this? But like, no, I would say it's a beautiful story though.
It is.
I really do like this movie. The fact that you like, but the thing is, the common theme of this week is romance. And I was just so shocked when you're like, this movie. I was like,
I mean, there is romance between McAvoy and Keira Knightley.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there when we get there, but it doesn't end well.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, Keira Knightley's family is a very wealthy family who lives in somewhere in England. Well, Robbie, who's played by James McAvoy, is like their servant.
A son of a caretaker.
Yeah.
Technically, they call him servant.
Yeah. And like the beginning of the movie, we were kind of like, where is this going?
Yeah, I really thought there was some kind of Pride and Prejudice
Yeah.
thing where I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. You know,
Yeah.
there could be romance there, a little bit of drama, a little bit of gossip, and then
It takes
4 years passed, and I'm like,
yeah, and there's also Brioni, played by Saoirse Ronan, one of her
Yeah,
first roles,
yeah.
and also one of the earliest movies of Benedict Cumberbatch, who's Paul in this one.
yeah,
Yeah,
not the best role, but like, you know what? It got him on the map.
yeah. Performance-wise, pretty good. Like character-wise, he should burn in hell. Anyway, you've seen this movie, you know why. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, there is a budding romance between Keira Knightley and Robbie
James
and
McAvoy.
Cecilia.
Yeah.
And like you get very iconic shots. Like I've seen the pictures of like Keira Knightley coming out of the fountain, and I'm sure a lot of people were like, "Damn,
Oh my.
oh my."
Yeah, and I gotta lie, I really like the style of Robbie.
Yeah.
I love the blue button up with the high waisted pants. Man, we gotta bring that back. I think we are bringing it back, but like,
Yeah,
you know,
and
maybe when I'm a little bit thinner.
it's great chemistry between the two, and you buy it right off the bat. You're like, "Yeah, I believe what they're saying. I believe that they
Yeah.
have feelings for each other."
And I love it that there is history.
Yeah,
They don't tell us what the history was. They just give us little clues of like when their brother Leon comes back home, and they're like, "Oh, you remember Robbie? He went to the same school as you, and then you know, shit happened, and he can't continue school."
yeah. And then like there's other you think there are other people catching feelings for each other, like Paul and Lola. Just like he's talking to her about the chocolate they make, and you get the sense that Lola's kind of like, I like this guy.
Into him.
Yeah,
Yeah. She kind of like leans a little too forward,
yeah,
like too close to him, and like, but the biggest elephant in the room is that we all kind of get that Bryony has a little bit of a crush on Robbie.
yeah.
Okay, a lot. Yeah, she has
a
a
lot.
very big crush on Robbie, and like her seeing their relationship flourish, and like, oh, look at that. There's a little bit of sexual tension. You see that she's resentful a little bit. She kind of holds it back, but she's like, why
Yeah.
can't that be me? You know?
Yeah, and like
There are many reasons why it can't be you, but like,
many reasons. But like she does see the fountain scene, and she's like, if only that could be me. And you're like,
yeah.
okay. And then
The audience don't.
yeah, the audience doesn't want to. I guess times were different back then, pre-World War II, almost World War II times.
No. I mean, I guess like girls having a crush on a dude a little bit older than them is a very normal thing.
Yeah,
But not. I really hope not to this extent. But anyway.
yeah. And like there, what else happens?
Uh,
Like the
so
the wrong send
what?
letter.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Again, I really thought this was like a very cutesy. Oh, I like Pride and Prejudice, handing notes to each other and being like, "Ooh, who's this suitor? You know, does he fancy me? You
Yeah.
know, like." So like James McAvoy's like writing an apology letter to her because of
The vase.
the vase, her jumping into
Yeah.
the fountain just to pick it up, and then her coming out wet, and him seeing that, and he's like, I apologize to like I saw you naked and almost naked,
Yeah.
and then at a spur of emotion, he writes something a little too
Explicit. Not safe for work.
yeah, and he was like, haha, I'll keep this because it's funny, and then he writes the actual apology,
Yeah.
and he like sets it up, he puts it in the envelope, and then he's off. He's
Yeah.
off to deliver the letter, and he asks Bryony, "Can you send this to your sister?" And then Robbie just finally realizes, "Holy shit! I gave the wrong letter."
Yeah. He's like, wait. Oh.
I love that scene though. It's like, you know, like him screaming.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
And like Bryony rushes towards her house to open the letter and see what he wrote, because of course she wants to know whether he actually has feelings for her sister.
Yeah. Some of the words
And
includes Butcher's favorite word. You're like, ah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's if you all don't know what I'm talking about or what we're talking about,
Watch
it
the
starts
voice.
with the letter C.
See you next Tuesday. And then she shows Lola. She's like, yak, maniac.
Yuck, yuck. And then they're all like, "Oh, sex fiend. He's systematic." Like, oh yeah, I guess around that time, like, come on, even Elvis like shaking his leg was a little too explicit for people,
Yeah.
you know. So I guess writing a letter like that is a little too,
Yeah.
you know,
Won't make any person faint of like, oh my, oh wow.
these words.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she gives it to Cecilia, and then she reads it, and she's like, "Did you read this?" And you see her just deflecting it off like nothing happened,
Yeah.
you know.
And then later that night when Robbie comes, like she's looking for them and then she sees them in the library. Like perspective is everything because she thinks he's forcing himself on her, but in actuality she is reciprocating the feelings he has. And you're like, yeah, context is key.
Context is key. They do that thing in like Oppenheimer on the last part where they show. I love that though.
Yeah.
Like they show Bryony's perspective, and then they show their perspective. Like with the fountain, you clearly see Robbie and Cecilia's perspective of what actually happened and why she had to jump in and she's all wet.
Yeah.
Where to her, it kind of looked like he forced her into the fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with this one where, yeah, she walks in, she kind of looks like he's forcing on herself, where clearly they both got the hots for each other.
Yeah.
And it is a very sweet scene, too. Like, okay, mine's... Yes, the sex part's nice. But, like...
I mean,
like,
let's not lie, kid ourselves. McAvoy and Keira Knightley are very attractive people.
Attractive.
Yeah.
yeah. And, like, and to be honest, I never thought I would actually see them in a movie together. Like, I never seen this before.
Yeah, I
But,
think
yeah.
my first time was like last year. I was like, oh my.
Yeah, well, my boy was bored.
But yeah,
sorry.
but yeah, like you, I was like, oh, I think this is going this way, and then takes an L when they're like, we can't find the kids, and they go searching.
Yeah, the twins like run off because they don't want to be stuck in the house because their parents are getting a divorce.
I thought that it would be you know the story of the twins in the towers of England where so there's this royal family where there are two twins and they suddenly disappear, and then for years they suspect it's the uncle or who killed them because he's mad for power. Anyway, I thought the twins would disappear forever and Bjorny would like frame Robbie for like he murdered him and buried him somewhere. I thought that's where it was going.
It does fit though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but instead of the twins, it was the sister of the twins. Who, yeah. Let's just say that something horrible happened to her, and Bryony kind of caught it, but she didn't get a full look at the perpetrator.
Yeah.
While they were looking for the boys, as the perpetrator runs off, they get back, and she runs back to the house and reports everything.
Yeah.
And they're all like, "Oh, who did it?" And from the scenes earlier on, it does seem like the number one culprit is Robbie.
Yeah. From her perspective, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and even she's like, "It's Robbie." And it's like, "Did you see his face? Like how you're seeing mine right now?" And she's like, "Yes." But we clearly both knew she did not.
Yeah. And like, Robbie's arrested, and we go to 4 years, and we're in Dunkirk, and you're like, huh?
Not gonna lie, dude. Not gonna lie. I really thought they're like, oh, when they're like, Bryony, go to your room.
Yeah.
I really thought they were like, oh, he didn't do it because he was out looking for the boys, and he comes back.
Yeah.
He's actually good at his job. Like, you know, he has the boys on his shoulder, he has the other one in his hand, and they're like, I'm back, I got the boys.
What's up?
What's happening?
Yeah.
You know? But no, they still continue. He gets arrested. And then he had a choice whether to stay in prison or go to war. And yeah, we're at Dunkirk. Dunkirk before Dunkirk. Eat that, Christopher Nolan.
To be fair, some of the shots in Dunkirk are kind of prettier than the movie. Than Nolan's Dunkirk. Like when Robbie's just walking around the Dunkirk itself, looking at the troops and looking at the sunset. I was like, God damn, this is beautiful to watch.
How dare you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. No.
We also get that flashback where Bryony wants to see how much Robbie likes him, so she tries to drown herself. And he's like, are you fucking mad? You could have killed his boat. Why do you keep dragging us down the bottom? She's like, I thought you had feelings for me. He's like, huh?
Girls, don't test a dude. Please, I swear to God. Don't test dudes.
Yeah. But you also see, like, he's kind of wounded. And you're like, I hope it's not serious.
Yeah, I really thought it was like... I don't know what the wound was, because it's like... Bullet?
Yeah, like
should you be bleeding out?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a scratch of, like, maybe just ran into something.
No, dude, it was a full-on hole. I thought... So I guess it was like a... I guess probably shrapnel or something.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
So, like... It's still in there. It's not... He's not bleeding, but he's still trudging on.
Yeah.
But as we get more of his shots, like more of the scenes with Robbie in it, he gets paler and paler.
Yeah. And you're like, it can't be that serious. It's kind of small. It's not like dead center where the heart is, where like you need a medic now. Robbie, what the fuck?
The heart is on the left side.
Sorry, the left side. We're like, you need a medic now, please, Robbie. But yeah, he goes to sleep.
What was the thing? Like one of the Navy guys said, like, if you're wounded, you get left behind or something like that.
Yeah.
Why was that an option?
I don't know. I don't know what this person Dunkirk. Like, really? Why?
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I was like.
Or I think if the wound is not too serious, or doesn't look too serious, where
for me, like Robbie was still walking around, like he's kind of doing fine, but we didn't notice he was dying slowly.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the other wounds when we get back to England of like, oh my God. The other war wounds the other people in Dunkirk have.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well,
so...
Bryony's an adult and a full-time nurse now.
Yeah. And it does get a little graphic here, where you see people with like without arms, some with like third-degree burns, and they're like starting to blister everywhere.
Yeah.
And then she meets with this one French guy who did they know each other?
I don't know. It kind of seemed like they did.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, my mom always liked you. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Oh, there was a guy that I used to like, and he's in the war right now, and it's my fault, or something like that.
Or he could be Could be.
So, she like,
he could be delusional because his brain is open. Of like, oh, your skull's is closing your brain.
oh lord, yeah. I really thought that it was like, like I never thought that would be underneath that. You know, like I always thought it was like it's a little scratch. You know, just hold in the concussion, just hold it in a bit. But no, she was like, oh, can you loosen my bandage? She's like, yeah, I got you. Holy shit.
I'm like,
I'm sorry. I would have fainted if I was that near. So I was like, oh shit.
Me too, but like, huh?
Yeah. And the guy dies on that spot.
Yeah. And then you find out that Brianni's writing a book of like her life. I was like, it's a fucking book of bullshit, but sure.
No, a book of lies.
Yeah. And then you find out it's kind of not kind of, it is fucked up because Paul does eventually marry Lola. You see them get married in the church, and you're like,
yeah.
And you see what she saw clearly that night of like, oh my god, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know if like Lola knows, because she did give her a little bit of a stink eye. She was like,
yeah,
you know, and like walked away.
Yeah, she's like,
I really.
What's your problem?
Yeah. So I don't know if they had that talk where, hey, I was that guy from last night.
There'd be more fucked then. You're like, why?
Yeah.
This prompts her to go to Cecilia and Robbie's house, and obviously tensions are high, especially with Robbie.
Oh God, I love that scene.
He's like,
I love it that she, you know,
he doesn't hold back.
Yeah. You know, there's no like, hey, you were a kid, you didn't know. I would say this is the most reasonable reaction that you could give. It's like, you lied because you got jealous.
Yeah.
And you put me in jail, and like, you know.
The first thing he says is like, "You want a broken neck, or do you want me to throw you down the fucking stairs?"
Yeah, he's paraphrasing, by the way, but he's pretty much right. Like and like him going, you know nothing.
Yeah.
Of what jail is like.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the 1930s. Jail is probably horrible.
Yeah, it's like, because of you, I was thrown to the fucking wolves, and it's about to kill her.
Like lunge her. I was like,
you know what? No, yeah, that's reasonable.
That is a very reasonable, you know, reaction. But the thing is, I don't think it was real.
No. Well, later on, we find out after the book. She writes the book, and we cut 2 years later, and it's not. Like it's not real. None of it was real. I mean, the point of her going to Cecilia's house is not real. That was never real.
Like that point where she's like trying to get closure, but she couldn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't real.
Yeah, she explains that it's not real because they were already dead at that point. Robbie dies of his wounds, and Cecilia dies drowning in the station because of the bombings. So the life that they saw together never happened, and that's why I gave them that in this book, because it's it's not the least, but it's the most I can do for them.
Yeah, and because we also find out that the book that she's writing is the last book she'll ever write, because she's dying of dementia. So I'm like,
might as well.
Why is this romantic?
Yeah, I saw it in the list. I was like, all right, I'll give it a try.
This is not at all romantic. This is
just heartbreaking.
Because, dude, like, you know how sad it was when she finally reveals, like, Robbie died in Dunkirk minutes before evacuation.
Yeah.
And you see his lifeless body, his good friend, like who has very weird views of the world, takes the letters and the picture with him.
Yeah.
And was taking care of him while Robbie was kind of losing his mind.
Yeah.
Hours before his death. And you see Cecilia, like, under the subway, and she just gets hit.
Yeah, you see the lifeless body of her drowned body. You're like, fuck, there's no way. Like there could have been usually you're like there could have been a way you could survive, and then you see how submerged it is. You're like, my
Yeah,
God,
it's through the roof, bruh.
yeah, you're like, you are fucked.
Yeah.
And
And I didn't know that shit actually happens.
yeah, neither did I
in
until
London when they got bombed.
yeah, neither did I until I watched this movie. And then yeah, it literally is the definition of bitter because you see the life both Cecilia and Robbie could have, just living peacefully somewhere if Ronnie wasn't jealous. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. It's a nice concept, but it's literally too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And yeah, it's very heartbreaking. They have a house, like a little cottage
Yeah,
beside the beach.
yeah.
You know?
Literally the article I read it from was like, by the end you want more, and then by the end of this movie I was like, I don't think I want more anything. I think I just want this movie
I
to
was
stop.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, what would you rate this one?
I would rate this one, I guess the same as, but I can't count this as a romance movie. This isn't
Yeah, it's
romance,
more
this is a
of a-
tragedy. It's like Hamlet.
It's a tragic drama.
Yeah, it's like...
Or if you want to stretch it, it's a tragic romance.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. Like, they were supposed to be, like, couldn't...
Yeah.
Because of this one kid's choice.
Yeah.
And she couldn't do anything because when they got the person who did it married the person who is the victim, so he's pretty much immune.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like,
And he's
wait,
part of,
are we at the ratings, by the way?
I know, but he's also part of the war effort, so he's untouchable.
That's very true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Serves chocolate. Yeah, don't trust people who sell candies. No, I'm kidding. I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know. If they're giving out for free.
If you're Paul from Atonement, definitely not. Don't trust them. Anyway, yeah. Ratings.
Oh yeah, I guess I'd give this one the same score as Before Sunrise, where it's it's an 8. I give it a solid 8. It's a good movie, but it's very bleak, very very sad. Yeah, if Shakespeare was still alive today, this is the type of shit he would be like. Yeah, I like that, you know. But yeah, is it a good movie? Fuck yeah, dialogue's great, writing's amazing. Enough to like kind of stop you dead in your tracks for a moment and just make you want to not watch movies for a bit. You know? But yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 for me.
Same. I can't picture giving this anything lower or higher. Like, yeah, it's at the beginning you're like, damn, James McAvoy and Keira Knightley are truly attractive, and then by the end you're like, why do people make movies like this? And I get why you have a vision, artistic license, and all that jazz, and a great script, but like at the same time, as the audience, you're like, I need to make better life choices. It's
I would like to be happy, you know.
It's near Christmas, and I'm contemplating other things. I'm like, why is life so sad?
Yeah.
But yeah, 8. It's a beautiful movie. It's tragically beautiful. The cast is great. Writing is on point. And yeah, even though it's a sad ending, it's just like, I guess it do be like that sometimes, you know?
You.
I had no better way to say it. I was like, what do I say?
Like, I swear, it was either that or it do be like that sometimes.
But yeah,
sorry, it's what it is, you know. Like,
it is what it is.
I hate that shit.
But yeah, I think the director goes on to direct that weird Peter Pan movie with Hugh Jackman.
Really?
Yeah. At the same time, he did do the Gary Oldman Winston Churchill movie.
Okay,
So-
that seems like it fits more.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that makes more sense.
Hit or miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been our video on Atonement. What bittersweet romance movie do you guys like to watch to? I don't know, to feel something. I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
It's the same way of how, you know, how people listen to sad music to make themselves feel better. Sometimes I kind of do that sometimes. So I guess
Okay, alright.
it's the same
Just-
thing.
You just put on a little bit of Frank Ocean and, like, just cry for a bit, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, if you like our videos, please leave them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on TikTok and Spotify. Spotify to hear us on the go take out to see our best and bleh, our best and funniest moments. Sorry, my mind's still on this movie for some reason. I was like, oh, why? We also react.
PTSD coming back.
Yeah. We also react to trailers there. And Liberty, I am Zoda's voices. I do funny voices. I do goddamn it. Thank you about it. I do serious voices. Or about you.
You can find me at JomJu underscore on Instagram. It is my art account.
And we'll be doing something happier next time around. But yeah, till then.
Yes, please.
Bye. Yes,
Ciao.
please. Bye.